We have the IAME Cadet final. Now, there was a lot of... now, the thing is, the two drivers that were involved were both Mason Rudman and Joseph Katsantonis. So, we have 11 competitors. Now, I'm sure that Darren and Andy are having a chat about what was happening last time out. Now, I do have to say, I'd like to get viewpoints from both drivers on this, or both fathers, one of which who just happens to be a BKC director, but James, let the video footage speak for itself, I think, is all I'm going to say. I am not one to comment, but I have a race to commentate on now. We have 11 competitors. It's the IAME Cadet Bambino Kart Club final here at Whilton Mill. We now have this and two other events to conclude round one of our 2018 season. So just being given the signal to go ahead and send the karts out on their formation lap. So without further ado, we shall go through their final grid positioning. Again, a standing start. So on the front row of the IAME Cadets BKC final here at Whilton Mill in Daventry, Northamptonshire. On pole position, it's AJ Arnold in the number 79. Aidan Hassan in the number 64 will be in second on row 1. Row 2 will be Ollie Wise and Jack Sant. Then it's Mason Rudman and Damon Newton on row 3, numbers 15 and 26. Sherry Ann Powell and Ryan Gill on row 4, that's 42 and 77. Joseph Katsantonis and Alfie Slater, row 5, that's 1 and 27. And Charlotte Stanley, number 22, rounding out our 11-strong grid. So, as I said, we have this and two other events to go. So we will have the final time trial of the C50 Bambinos a bit later on. But then we will also have the IAME Bambino A final, which will have our biggest grid of the day thus far. 20 in all. They took the best 20 competitors out of all the results. So at the end of it, the cumulative point scores meant that they were then assigned grid positions for the relevant finals. So there we are, AJ Arnold into view here on the Downforce UK Facebook live video stream. With you've also got Ollie Wise there behind him. Then you've got Aidan Hassan, who's been really electric. And great to see that Billy Wiz himself, Billy Munger, was back in action behind the wheel of a BRDC Formula 3 car. And this young man is an inspiration to many, especially with what happened at Donington Park. Look where he is now. He's back in a race car. And these kids are wanting to be just like him. But obviously, at the end of the day, he is an inspiration to many. And away we go for the IAME Cadet final. Who's going to get the whole shot going into turn number 1? It looks like it's AJ Arnold ahead of Aidan Hassan. 3-4 wide at the back it looks to be as they go through turns 1 and 2 cleanly for the first time of asking. Up the hill they go. Now all I'm going to say is what has happened to Mason Rudman? Did he bog down at the start? Because Joseph Katsantonis is ahead. Alfie Slater's there as well. Now these wet weather conditions could really help the likes of Katsantonis make their way through the field. So Katsantonis is up a couple of positions. Rudman's going with him as well. So, leaders now have come through. They're starting to approach the boot for the first time of asking. And it's AJ Arnold. He has literally... He's ran away like the proverbial scalded cat from Aiden Hassan. So, Hassan has got a lot of work to do over the next few minutes. So, at the moment, it is still AJ Arnold leading the way by a country mile as Kat Santonis goes to try and go. Oh, that was contact. There was contact there between him and Sherry-Ann Powell. Now, these wet weather conditions are going to favour some drivers, but I think that was a bit too... I don't know if that was a bit too aggressive. But sometimes, if that can happen, racing incidents do happen, as Alfie Slater is also trying to make moves up the field. And he's trying to get past Jack Sant there in 86, who's dropped way down the order. And the numbers... Oh, Aiden Hassan. Aiden Hassan has dropped significantly down the order. Contact warning for Joseph Katsantonis. I wasn't at all surprised there. I think there was just a bit too much late braking going on by Joseph, and it put him into the side of Sherry-Ann Powell. That was a bit of a shame for her. So, at the moment, now Hassan... Now, you can see the contact here between him and Sherry-Ann Powell. Katsantonis went for the gap. The gap was being closed. And that was definitively a true contact warning. I'm 100% in agreement with that decision by race control. So, at the moment, now Mason Rudman has really charged through the field in the fact that he started 5th. He dropped way down to the back end of the order, and he's just getting past Ollie Wise for 2nd position out on track through turn 7. Now, he's probably been a bit fired up after the second heat clashes with Joseph Katsantonis, who's had his own clash today with Sherry-Ann Powell in this final. So, 4 minutes and 48 seconds plus an additional lap. Now, AJ Arnold is running away with this quite significantly. Now, the only thing is that Joseph Katsantonis is still circulating on track, but the timing is not showing him on the display at the moment, as Mason Rudman is getting pressurised by Ollie Wise for 2nd. So there's a great little battle here. So AJ Arnold still continues to lead, but meanwhile we are concentrating on the battle between Mason Rudman and Ollie Wise for 2nd position at the moment. And looks like Damon Newton is also getting in there. Sherry-Ann Powell there as well. Again, Joseph Katsantonis crosses the start-finish line, but is not showing on the timing. I'm wondering if there's an issue with the transponder at all, as Rudman is still being pressurised by Wise. Newton is quickly coming into this, as is Sherry-Ann Powell. And Newton is trying to go past Ollie Wise up into the top part of turn 4. Through turn 5 they make it. Now on the hill approach down towards turn 6 and 7, then into 8. So Mason Rudman doing a great defensive job here at the moment from Ollie Wise, Damon Newton, and also Sherry-Ann Powell. And this is from 2nd to 5th place. Ryan Gill isn't that far behind. He's about 0.8 of a second away. So could latch on to the back bumper of Sherry-Ann Powell. So I've just spoken to the clerk of the course, who has confirmed that Joseph Katsantonis' transponder is not functioning. So they're just keeping an eye on his positioning at the moment. So it looks like Ollie Wise is back up ahead of Mason Rudman, who is coming under pressure from Damon Newton in the number 26. Sherry-Ann Powell is still keeping in touching distance, and it looks like Ryan Gill and Alfie Slater. Yes, there we go. The Fusion Motorsport liveried kart, the number 27, is very close to this. Oh, and that was brazen. Sherry-Ann Powell, where did you pull that one out of your race helmet and gloves from? My goodness. That was fantastic. That was... I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. Laith Khan's done a brilliant manoeuvre, and then Sherry-Ann Powell through into the boot, round the outside, makes up a great couple of positions there, as we've got side-by-side between Ollie Wise and Mason Rudman yet again. But watch out, boys. Sherry-Ann Powell is hunting you down. So here we go. It's a minute plus an additional lap, and it's still all to play for. The IAME Cadet final is nothing short of amazing. Of course, we've had little to say about AJ Arnold because he's been running away whilst these ones have been battling down tooth and nail. Oh, and Sherry-Ann Powell loses it a little bit. Damon Newton goes off the track as well. That was a bit of unfortunate contact, I think, with Mason Rudman. And here comes Ryan Gill and Alfie Slater. So 30 seconds plus an additional lap. Oh. And Aidan Hassan, well, he dropped significantly down the order a little bit earlier on. So I don't know if he had a problem with the kart, but he's now unlapped himself, I think. So the first two heats saw him and AJ Arnold go toe-to-toe, go to war, so to speak, here at Whilton. But unfortunately, it hasn't come good in the final, and he's now trying to get past Mason Rudman. Okay, we know you're quicker, Aidan, but don't stoke the fire because you won't be able to put it out. So I think, oh, there we go. Mason's just gone, yeah, get past me, go on, go for it. If you're quicker, go for it. So good call there by the number 15, who's now got the... So, right, it looks like we've got final lap board out on the Digi flag for AJ Arnold. So just trying to keep an eye on where he is at the moment. Right, so just keeping an eye on what's been going on at the moment, and we've just got our leader coming into view at the moment. So AJ Arnold is going to take a convincing and commanding BKC IAME Cadet win here for round number 1 of the 2018, as there is a chain guard off on the outside of turn 1. I think that might be, I think Bradley was just telling me, Bradley Beavers, that it was from Sherry-Ann Powell's chain guard that's come off. Stu Stretton, our resident photographer, has just picked up the chain guard and got the debris off of the track itself. So Katsantonis crosses the line. Wise has just crossed the line. Rudman, now the checkered flag has flown. So Alfie Slater was ahead of now, was that Alfie Slater, I think, coming into view? That might have been, but Mason Rudman was ahead of Sherry-Ann Powell, whose chain guard came off, I believe. So we're just waiting for the timing screens to reset. So with regards to the whereabouts of Joseph Katsantonis' finishing position, I will know momentarily. Because his transponder failed or could have fallen off of his cart, what's happened is that they're having to manually input Joseph into the system. So that concludes the IAME Cadet Intercart final for the Bambino Kart Club and Intercart Championships, round number 1 here at Whilton Mill of the 2018 season. For those that haven't already been aware of what tracks Bambino Kart Club is going to this year, We go to Houghton Park in Cheshire in 3 weeks on April 1st. Maybank holiday double header at Rowra in Cumbria, May 6th and 7th. We've also got trips to Lydd in Kent. We've also got Fulbeck as our season finale in Lincolnshire, a short drive from PF International. We've also got Llandau in South Wales, Llanigors in North Wales as well. So at the end of it all, well, this is probably going to be slightly different from what we see on here. I couldn't really keep an eye on where Joseph Katsantonis was on the road, but I'm sure that when we do have that. But it's another convincing win. I think that's 3 in a row for AJ Arnold. So great job by him as such. So well done to AJ Arnold for concluding his first round of the 2018 campaign here with Bambino Kart Club to be a fruitful and very successful one.